Coming to the Tainted Tavern, come sit a while for free. We talk about our musings and devices we've been using.
Dearly beloved, we are gathered here today to bid farewell to a true legend, taken from us too soon, snatched away, cruelly snatched away, struck down in the prime of life by the cruel, insidious reach of tobacco control. The child of legendary tobacco blender Glyn Quelch, Swampflower was birthed in 2013 and was immediately popular with discerning smokers and made itself known through its all too brief life. As a great band once said, all things must pass. In loving memory of Swampflower, 2013 to 2070, taken from us without warning, misunderstood in life, unforgiven in death, a blend too strange to live and yet too memorable to forget, floral earthy, briefly tolerated, forever reminisced, survived by half-empty pouches, unreliable memories in pipe smokers who insist you had to smoke it back then. May it rest where the health Nazis cannot reach, and room notes are no longer judged. Farewell, my pungent friend, for it is truly the last bowl. You know, this is a situation that more and more pipe smokers are going to find themselves facing, where a beloved tobacco blend, and pipe smokers are, let's face it, tobacco enthusiasts. You know, we're not wanting to puff away to get that nicotine hit. We are enthusiasts. We are following the aromas, the taste, the nuances of each tobacco, and this sadly is something that we're all going to have to get used to with tobaccos disappearing. Swampflower, of course, was not the first. I used to love Frogmorton Cellar especially, and now of course McKellen has gone as well. And this is largely due to changing attitudes, but the main factor in all this is the incredible powers now that the anti-tobacco lobby has. It's not democratic, it's totally outrageous, and it's only going to get worse. And I can honestly see a day when pipe smoking may in fact become illegal. That's a scary thought. A perfect example of this is back when they brought in the smoking ban in public places. They had to redefine, the government here in the UK, and I know in the US as well, because I've heard Mr. Rick Newcomb talking about this, but they had to redefine what was a public building. Now, when I was growing up, public buildings were things like libraries, town halls, government departments. Businesses, such as, say, the local bank, the local estate agents, were all private buildings. No. Now they defined a public building as anywhere where members of the public visit, and so they effectively banned smoking almost everywhere. That is scary. Whether you're an anti-smoker yourself, you still must appreciate, but at least take your blinkers off, you must appreciate how draconian the anti-smoking laws have become. Anyway, today we are going to partake in the last bowl. Rest in peace, Swampflower. Well, I'm being a little bit melodramatic. It's not exactly the last bowl. It's probably the last couple of bowls. This is all I've got left in here in this jar of Swampflower. Won't be able to get it again. It doesn't exist. It's gone by the wayside. Glyn Quelch, the guy who invented this, was the original owner of GQ Tobaccos, and he was a tobacco enthusiast, a massive tobacco enthusiast, very keen pipe smoker. And he started up GQ Tobaccos to provide a mail-order service to like-minded people, to pipe smokers who could get all different types of tobacco, and he started blending his own tobaccos, and he did a wonderful job. He did several varieties, Swampflower only being one of them. But when he stepped down from the business, we thought we'd lost GQ Tobaccos. It was a wonderful, wonderful business that supported the pipe community, and was run by knowledgeable people. And we thought we'd lost it, but thankfully someone else took over. That is Sam Bremner, who runs it to this day. And if you're in the UK, I'm not sure. I know that GQ can't ship to the US, but they may be able to ship over Europe. You'd have to check that out. But GQ Tobaccos really deserves the support. It is a wonderful, wonderful online tobacconist, and they really care about the products they sell, be it pipes, cigars, pipe tobacco, anything. So GQ Tobaccos, thumbs up for them. Fully need to be supported. And Glyn Quelch, if you're watching this, what are you doing these days? I'd like to know what you're doing these days, and are you still puffing away yourself? But anyway, we're going to smoke some swamp flower today now, which I call the last bowl. And the pipe I'm going to smoke this in, there's an interesting story behind this too. It's a bantam pipe here. It's marked as an Astor, which means it's a Comoy second. This pipe dates way back to the 1970s. I educate a guess, I'm saying early 70s, and I smoked it when it was brand new the other day. And I say brand new, I mean new old. It had never been smoked. I purchased this pipe along with another straight pipe. They were tobacconist second pipes. This is an Astor. The second pipe I got, I'm convinced, is an Ardcastle, although the identification of that one's a little bit more difficult. But anyway, I purchased these pipes from a friend of mine on Facebook, UK Pipe and Tobacco Club. So shout out to Josh. Great pipes, mate. I'm going to be after you for a couple more. And somehow, I don't know how he did it, but he came across some old tobacconist stock. He had a big card, a display card of basket pipes, basically, that had never been used. So I purchased this one. I've sucked several bowls through it now. It was pre-coated anyway, but I have sucked several bowls through this. But what I really like about this is when I took my first smoke of this pipe, which was only, Saturday, it was nigh on a 50-year-old block of briar that had never been smoked. That kind of, I don't know, maybe I've got a weird kind of mind, but I kind of sense that history. You know, so somewhere, maybe 50 years ago, maybe even longer, someone was working in a pipe factory in Comoys, producing this pipe. They looked at it, and Comoy decided, oh, it's going to need a little fill here or a little fill there, so it'll have to become a second. But someone was working on this, and they are lovely crafted. The stems are genuine vulcanite, not any of the dreadful plastics that tend to get used these days, so they're very soft, and I just prefer vulcanite. Of course, the problem with vulcanite is it does oxidize, but if looked after, you can keep it clean. It's a briar bowl, it's a small bowl, it's a bantam, and a bantam size is perfect for swamp flowers, because swamp flower is a pungent beast. Okay, so let's retire to the bothy of broken dreams and solemnly partake in the last bowl.
As I watch the sun descending and the birds fly home to rest, in the hush when day is ending, that's the hour when I feel blessed, smoking my pipe.
You know, swamp flower is a really unusual tobacco in that it's very, very heavy on perique. Now, where perique is usually used as a condiment tobacco to give some flavourings in small amounts to other tobaccos such as Virginia. Virginia is very commonly mixed with perique to make the vapor blend. But in swamp flower, the perique, that is tobacco grown in the St. James region of Louisiana, which is the only place perique can be grown, is used as the base tobacco. Then it's mixed with Kentucky and Virginia flue-cured tobaccos. So the resultant of this is that you get a very florally tasting, but that's not just because of the tobacco components, that's because of the topping used, which is a Lakeland style topping. But you get a very florally tasting tobacco, which is quite unique. I've never tasted anything else that quite tastes like a swamp flower. But also it's very, very strong in nicotine. It is a nicotine powerhouse, which is why a bantam like this is a perfect pipe to partake in the swamp flower.
Smoking my pipe, Like a whisper through the cornfield comes a gentle evening breeze. At the doorway of my cottage I recall old memories. Smoking my pipe.
Now whereas with Perique you would get a pepperiness, with this you're getting a lot more than that. You're getting pepper times 10, multiplied by 5,000. Well, the amazing thing about it is it's such a well-balanced taste. Because of the strength of the Perique, you think it would be, burning the inside of your mouth. It would be finishing you off. It doesn't. It is well-balanced. I'm definitely going to miss this stuff. Rest in peace, Swamp Flower. Taken too soon.
Smoking my pipe. Those far-off places.
Very, very, very floral. Like something like Enadale on steroids. That pepperiness, so almost, it's incredible because the pepperiness. I wouldn't want to say that it's almost sweet. But it's so tolerable. It's so... It's fantastic. Glenquout, fuck the tobacco Nazis. Come back. Make more of this stuff.
Beyond the blue, familiar faces that once I knew.
Smooth, slow burning, pungent, incredibly pungent. The room note would probably drive away an entire temperance society. The pepperiness, though, is there in spades. As I say, it's a massive Perique punch, but it's not intolerable. In fact, it's quite nice. It's like when you eat a really pungent cheese, something like a mutation of a blue Stilton, and it shouldn't taste nice, but it does. It's delicious, and this has that. This is the same as that, and of course this little bantam pipe is performing. I do love this pipe.
I recall those days behind me and the happiness they meant. Every sundown you will find me with a heart that is content.
That means you're watching this video. If you haven't subscribed to this channel already, then please do so. It doesn't cost anything, and it helps the channel grow, and it helps it get noticed, so I really appreciate that. Give us a thumbs up. But what I would really like to do is engage with viewers more. Drinking a scotch there. Scotch in the afternoon. How decadent. Then again, a scotch in the afternoon with swamp flower tobacco. And even then again, scotch in the afternoon with swamp flower tobacco in a 50-year-old old new pipe. It's fucking Keith Richards. It's rock and roll, baby.
Smoking my pipe. Smoking my pipe.
Maybe I'm an anarchist pipe smoker. Changing the world one puff at a time.
You remember the first time we met? You were the only one in that railway carriage who didn't like me smoking.
It's difficult to pick out individual flavours in this because the Perique is so forward. But that perfumey geranium aspect from the top in is very evident. The pepperiness of the Perique is there, but I haven't got the words to describe how an intense pepperiness can somehow become sweet.
Smoking Madero pipe. Compromise, I opened the window. What a lovely surprise you gave me on our wedding day. A tobacco jar. How I remember each smile and tear.
Here's some pipe smokers and whiskey drinkers too in review videos describing a leathery taste. I've never really understood that, but with this, I think you could use a descriptor of leathery, and leathery in terms of meaning strength, resilience, It's there. The tobacco, it really is quite delicious, but very, very strong. If you're lucky enough to get hold of some swamp flow from someone who has a supply, and you're a new pipe smoker, you're not going to appreciate this. You need to be experienced in the ways of the bowl in order to appreciate this. I mean, the pipe's out of my mouth now. That pepperiness is clinging to the back of my throat. If this was a whiskey, I would say that the finish is 10 out of 10. The finish is superb. It lingers long on the palate.
As life's December is drawing
I think that it should be sat back with relaxed. I'm perhaps smoking a little slower than I'm doing here, but I'm trying to keep this video to a reasonable length. After all, the funeral for Swampflower deserves respect, and it deserves as many of you to be here as can, and you're not going to sit there and watch a 35-minute video. You know, Glyn Quelch, who originally blended this, I believe this blend was put together, or based on a blend he used to put together for a member of Parliament. I believe he was a Liberal Democrat politician. But Glyn would never reveal who it was, because that sort of thing is not done. Privacy, my boy, privacy, old boy.
Time's old ever-moving finger closes one more day, but yet, while such thoughts as mine can linger, I'll have nothing to regret.
Personally, I don't like the lid depth. Earthy, pungent, very, very pungent, peppery, very peppery. But the pepper is so intense, the peppery taste on this, that the pepper almost becomes as smooth and creamy as ice cream. Swampflower really was a wonderful creation. Loving this old bantam as well, so thank you so much, Josh. Charge me a reasonable price for this and all, very, very reasonable.
Smoking my pipe, smoking my pipe, smoking my pipe.
So that's Swampflower. And whilst maybe not the last bowl, I've probably got a couple more bowls to enjoy. It is the end of an era. And so, with all respect, I bid thee farewell, old friend. Rest in peace.
Come into the Tainted Tavern, come sit a while for free. We talk about our musings and devices we've been using.